Welcome, everyone, to the Utah PTA Pulse Podcast. I'm Mike Williams, the Director of Communications. To my right, your left is...
I'm Angelee Aedo, the Family Life Commissioner.
And I'm Cammy Whitchurch, the Community Engagement Commissioner.
And today we're talking about navigating the legislative... Can't even say it. I tried. I practiced legislative processes.
Session.
Thank
process.
you.
I mean, it's a process, too.
Yeah.
All the things.
But we're going to start off with a question from Angelee.
Okay. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Why?
That was a quick response.
Or why not?
Okay, everyone, if you want to listen to a really cool show, it's called, it's hosted by Art Bell. Just look up Art Bell. Listen to him, and he passed away. This is a long time ago. But his show, they have callers come in, and they talk about supernatural stuff. And, man, I got so hooked into it. It's actually kind of terrifying. And there's Shadow Men and the Mothman.
Definitely not going to watch it.
Well, I don't know.
That's a hard pass. I get freaked out when people tell me about shows. I don't even have to watch them.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, I'm afraid of
It
the
terrifies
dark.
me. I would listen to it laying next to my wife, and I'd have to hold on to her while she's sleeping because I'm scared.
You're doing it at night?
Yes! That's when his program comes on. But anyway.
No. Hard, no.
So, no,
Nope.
I believe in ghosts, yes.
Okay. Yeah,
And ghost hunting.
definitely.
And taking recording equipment to hear them talk to you.
Have you ever done the ghost hunting in Salt Lake City?
No. Have you done it in Tooele?
No, but my friend is like a certified person to do it in Salt
really?
Lake City. We should go.
We should go.
It'd be so fun.
That would be fun.
No.
Cammy's not coming.
You guys can tell me about it later. I'm good. I'm really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do believe in ghosts. Supernatural, other side.
Yeah,
Me too. I totally do. All right. Well,
Okay.
easier question than I thought.
That was the best.
They're going to be like, those people are weird. I mean, you won't be wrong, but...
True. Okay.
This is the PTA Ghost Podcast.
Underneath these ladies. Sometimes we hear weird noises in here, though.
Totally. Our last time here, there was a ghost.
There was something.
There was
Someone
something.
was knocking on the door.
Ooh.
It was creepy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? Maybe the PTA office is haunted. We should ask the other ladies.
I bet there's stories.
I'm sure there is. I got here early, and there was creaks. I know buildings make noises, but I was freaking out.
And probably like in the other building they were in too, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
because that was like the...
I wish we still had
What
that
building
building.
was that?
It was on like South
Was it
Temple,
the
wasn't it?
It was in the McKay building?
McKay, some building on South Temple? I don't know. We'll find out
Yeah.
where it was.
Yeah.
Like a historic building, really cool.
Yeah. We'll
It's
find out.
it's on utahpta.org/history. It talks about it.
What is it called?
I don't know. I'm looking
Oh.
for it. Oh, here. Where are we at?
He's like, I found a page, but I'm not telling you.
On January 2nd, the Utah Congress acquired its first permanent headquarters at 1037 East South Temple, Salt Lake City. In April, it moved into the new office. Doesn't say what the name is.
Like, there's a name to that
But
building.
1037 East South Temple. Anybody want to look that up?
There were probably ghosts there, for sure.
Totally.
For sure.
Although I will say, like, parking down there, I'm glad for the parking that we're not
Yeah.
there, because that's not fun.
I know, I hate downtown parking.
Mhm.
All it says is the line in Healy West.
But there's
Is
a name
there
to,
a
I want to
music
say
store?
it's like the McConkey, not McConkey, though. I don't know why that sticks in my head. What is the name of the building?
Do.
Oh, right, maybe it'll be a trivia. And
Do.
the first person,
There you go.
the first person who emails Mike
Yes. It tells us what that building is.
you will get a...
We'll send them one of these.
Yes, we will. I'm
should.
still waiting for someone to respond to any of our...
Hey, we had Amy responded with a procedure book.
No way. Awesome.
Didn't you see the email? It was a popcorn party procedure book or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds
Is that why
familiar.
she was saying I'm expecting stickers?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, so I
Oh,
need to
now
get
it
her
makes
some
sense.
stickers. Okay. I was really confused by that. Sorry, Amy. Actually, she'll be on, well, not this podcast, sorry. She'll be on later. But
She's
I'll
guest
apologize
hosting
to
for us later.
yeah, so I will apologize to her for not getting your stickers yet. Okay, good. All right, so yeah, if someone figures out the name of that building.
Why doesn't it even say it on our website?
I know what. We'll find out. I'm sure Sherry, our history.
Oh, in 1902 they moved into that, and then in 1953 they moved into a Lafayette School in the new UEA building on 312 East South Temple. Wow, we go all over the place.
All right.
Okay.
Well, this is good for our later podcast where we're going to talk about some of the history. So, All right. Well, today we're talking about the legislative session, and yesterday, Tuesday, January 21st, was the first day of the session, and there's already a lot of bills.
Yeah.
Too many bills.
Yeah. Well, in dealing with education, what did Amber say? There were already 45 bills
Something like that.
to do with education.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So we went to the Capitol yesterday and had our first resolutions meeting at the Capitol for this session. And I was like, I'm remembering some good times from last year and some scary times.
For sure.
And I was thinking back, so last year, like maybe before this, Cammy and I recorded our own little podcasting, and we kind of talked about this exact topic. But I'm like, how far we've come.
Yes.
And I feel like we didn't really know what we were doing. We did, but we didn't, you know?
But I think that's like another one of those, like, don't wait to get started. Even if it's not perfect, just get started, because the more you do it, the more you'll figure it out and kind of fine tune things. I think a lot of times we wait till we have it perfect, and sometimes you just have to jump.
So there's currently right now the bills that have numbers. In the House there's 301 bills. There's 6 concurrent resolutions, 5 House joint resolutions, and then Senate bills there's 154. Senate concurrent resolutions there's 3, and then the joint resolutions there's 4. And just regular Senate resolutions, there's 1.
So
That's a lot.
So how do you find these bills?
Well, I went to le.utah.gov, and at the top of the page, there's some little things you can click on. It says Legislators Bill Code and goes on. You click Bills, and then you're going to go to 2025 Bills, and it will take you... The House bills are at the top of the page, the Senate bills start in the middle of the page, and you can click on any bill. Which one should we look at? What should be our example bill?
What was the website again?
le.utah.gov. LE.
I've been doing LA.
Well, the other cool thing is you can actually create an account, and you can actually follow bills. So if you're kind of following Utah PTA, we'll get to how to follow what bills we're following. But if you want to follow and see what's going on with them, or even if there are bills that you just have heard about and want to follow, you can create an account and you can actually start following those bills, and they will notify you when changes are made, or maybe when it gets out of committee or whatever. So kind of a cool way to follow along and keep up to date with what's going on that way. So that's kind of the basic how to navigate the le.utah.gov. There's also a lot of other things on there. They have like a calendar, so you can see who's meeting when. I believe the calendar also goes over. Where is the calendar? Maybe you have to go back to home. Yeah. So if you go back to home, that's where the calendar is. But you can click on each day, and I believe, like they'll say if the Education Appropriations Committee's meeting and what time, and then I believe you can even click in to listen to those through the
It's usually like Zoom or
virtual.
something.
I think it's Zoom.
I was trying to find a fun one that we could use as our example.
A fun bill?
Your bills were not fun.
No,
Sorry.
I don't want to do mine. Mine were all about abuse.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, those are heavy bills. They're
Yeah,
not fun.
I was like, I don't.
They're
wanna...
important,
Yes, they are important.
but they're a heavy, a heavy bill.
I was trying to find one that was like kind of funny because there's always a few that are kind of funny. Let's see. Oh, we could do the Spaceport Exploration
Oh, yeah.
Committee.
Okay. So yeah, so it's you can also find out on this website who your legislators are. So maybe you don't know that. That's actually not an uncommon thing for people to say. I don't know who my representatives are. And so you can go on here, you can go to legislators and let's see, is it under legislators or is it under, go back to home. To tell you how to find your legislator. I haven't done it in a long while, so now I'm not sure. Man, I should have looked this up beforehand.
So you go to legislators and then you click find by address and map, and then you can type in your address.
Where's find by address?
Like click that.
Did.
Oh, you don't get like a thing that comes down?
No. Didn't they used to have one?
Mine has one.
Demographic profiles, no. By address map. So it's just kind of hidden in, it's the third row down. You've got search alphabetically or by address map. So you want to click on, so you've got legislators and it has Senate, House, and like roster, map, seating chart. And then the next one down is search. So you can search by alphabet. So maybe you already know who your legislator is and you want to just find their name. You can, but you can also search by address or map. And when you click on that, it'll just ask for your address and you can put that in and it will tell you who your representatives are and how to contact them. And, you know, it's okay even if you don't have anything necessarily to say right off the bat to just say, hey, you know, I'm one of your constituents. I'm following the session. And a lot of times they'll have, like some of them have a newsletter, you know, or town halls or whatever that they'll put information out. And so you might want to get on their mailing list or be able to find out about those. So a good way to reach out and just get to know your representatives, your senators, and your reps, and just
Yeah, it's great. Mm-hmm. So I found a bill we could talk about.
Okay.
All right.
It's not like funny or anything. It's just an easy one to do. So this bill is SB 88, so Senate Bill 88. It's called School Funding for Veterans Day Commemorations. This bill creates the Veterans Day School Assembly Pilot Program.
Arr.
Oh, man.
Has it been a long day already? Maybe it has.
It has, but it's been fine. It's been fine. So this bill basically just creates a pilot program to allow funds to go to Veterans Day school assemblies, and has the Utah State Board of Education kind of give guidelines on how, like it says, the state board will compile best practices and guidance from LEEs that have previously held Veterans Day assemblies and post the best practices and guidelines on the board's official website. And it does come with some money. I'm not sure where the money is coming from. So it's always good when you're looking at a bill online, you can look at the text of the bill, but you can also look at like the fiscal note so you can see what it costs, where the money's coming from. So this says it's going to be a one-time $960,000, but it says it comes from the income tax fund.
Yep.
And so you could decide in your own mind if that's good or bad. The income tax fund usually funds education. So you could decide, well, this is funding a part of education, or you could say like, no, I don't want my money to go there. So you could tell your rep that you don't like this bill or that you like it. That's up to you to decide.
Mm-hmm.
And then also when you're looking at the bill, you can click to track the bill as well. And then that's when like it'll send you notifications about what's going on with the bill, if it gets put into committee or if it goes on the floor and then bumped back to committee, or if it dies, thing that happens too. I'm following a lot of bills. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that there's a third substitution.
Yeah. Well, and as you're looking at the bill, any changes that have been made, just so you kind of know, if they've made additions, those are in red line text. And if they take things out, those are usually crossed out. Are those blue usually when they cross them out? I'm trying to remember.
It.
Yeah,
blue
they're
crossed
usually
out.
blue.
And they're crossed out. So you can see when you look at it, when you first pull up the bill, that's the version that comes up. I believe there's actually a way to see it. Maybe not anymore. There used to be a way where you could see it without those, so you could see it how it would read without the red and blue line. But I don't. They have made changes to their website, so it may just be that we don't know. But you can just omit.
So if you go to the PDF,
is it in the PDF?
Yeah, it still shows like for example in line 120, they're doing some renumbering, and so they crossed out 35 and added 36, but it's all like one color. So you can still see that they've like made some changes to it, but there's not all the colors.
And you can also, if there are multiple, so say they've, made changes to it and it's, what is it, substitution 2 or 3, or I don't know if I've ever seen past 3. Usually it's about 3. But you can look at the past substitutions on the site also. So you can see, substitution 1 did this and substitution 2 did this. So you can see those things when you're looking at the bills. And sometimes you're reading the bills just going, I have no idea what this is saying. I feel like the more you read, though, the more you kind of begin to understand what's going on and kind of things to watch for. So if you're first looking at these, they do usually have a summary at the beginning of what's going on, what they're changing, and things like that. But some of it is just kind of learning and talking. And you can always contact your own legislator to ask them about that bill and what they know about it, or you can contact those that are sponsoring the bill also and get more clarification if you're looking at going, I don't know what this is, or I have a question about this, have they thought about this? And you can always contact them.
And they try to get back to you quick. I know yesterday in our meeting we were discussing a bill, and one of the other advocacy team members was like, I'm just going to text him real quick and ask him some questions, and we had answers in our meeting. So if they're at a place where they can respond, they will. And I think they prefer texts.
Yeah.
It's easier. I prefer text too, so I get it.
And they've probably got an intern, on it so that they're making sure that they're responding as quickly as they can. So, yep. Okay. So anything else on the le.utah.gov site, do you think?
No, I'd just say just play with it.
Yeah.
I would also say don't be afraid to use a little bit of AI, but hold on, I'm like messing with Cammy's headphone cord.
So mine jerks to the side. It's 'cause she's pulling on it.
I just put it on my lap. Hopefully it's okay. I'll just hold on to it.
It's totally fine.
So I would say feel free to use ChatGPT or something else that you like, and to type in the bill and ask for a summary.
That's a good idea.
I wouldn't say it's hard for me to be rely 100% on that, but it's definitely a good way to get started on the bill, especially when you're looking at bills that are a lot of pages, because most of them are pretty succinct and clear, and then there's some that you're oh my gosh, I'm on line 7,000 and it's still going. So
that's a good call.
Yeah, but I like to use AI, but it's not the only thing I rely on.
But it's just another tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
So if you need help, just kind of deciphering the bill. I think that's a good way to start. I will say, to the one caution with AI is that it's going to make every bill sound good. So just be a little bit leery of that, because if you do AI for all the bills, you're going to be like, every single one of them is great. Like, let's just pass all of them.
I mean, you could tell AI, tell me
Are they
the
paying
negative
them off?
things.
They're like,
Yes, you could specify what you want out of AI.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what that came up with.
So Cammy and I, we work on the advocacy team to help decide what bills Utah PTA is going to follow. And we actually had our first meeting yesterday to discuss bills and kind of make some decisions on our first set of bills that we're looking at. And then on Wednesdays during the session, we meet with our legislative advocacy committee and present our bills. So we did that today. And we did make we made some positions. We voted on positions today. And then after that happens, our executive committee meets right after, and they decide if they want to go with what the LAC committee has decided. And I think they went with all the ones we did today.
I know I didn't hear that there were any that they didn't, and I would think they would let us know.
Yeah. And all those will be posted on Utah PTA.
They already are, actually.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The website was down. We were
a little nervous.
We were quite nervous, but they're already on the website, utahpta.org. Then click advocacy and then go to legislative bills, and it already shows kind of where we're at with the bills that we discussed today.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, we discussed a lot, but I'm realizing I started reading 2024s too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do have to be careful about that.
Yes.
Watch the date.
Make sure, you can sort it by year.
Because it ends, that first page has more. Like the last 4 on that first page are actually last year's. So, but that's still quite a few bills that we were able to cover in our first
meeting. Did we cover all these?
Yeah,
Dang.
we did. Mm-hmm. Yep. And and this gives you, so if you click on, it gives you the number, so like HB0063, and if you click on that, it'll take you to another page that talks about like a general description of the bill and kind of some highlights on what they're doing. And then this one has fiscal notes. It has what resolution we are using to take the position that we did. So you could actually click right on there and read the resolution and see. But then they usually will say why they, what part of that resolution they used to decide. And then if there's any, like this one has a national resolution tied to it, and it also is tied to a legislative priority. So just the more that we have to kind of back our the positions that we take, the better, because those are all backed by research and data.
Yeah, we don't just like decide we don't like it or we like it. There's that research done, and it's good research. It's not Wikipedia.
Yep, exactly. And there's two, you have to have 2 sources for each whereas statement. So, yeah, so it's, people are doing their homework and just trying to put things out there so that we can make the best decisions for kids. So, yeah, so that's kind of an awesome, and if you want to see just our resolutions and read through those, it's also under the advocacy tab and just resolutions. And usually when you click on, and you can just read through all of the resolutions and have a heyday. So those are all available there.
Yeah, and I love that there's research done in so many different
areas.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know the word.
Well, and if you are interested, maybe you have an idea for writing a resolution. I know we kind of talked about this a little bit with Amy when she was on. If you wanted to write a resolution or you had an idea for that, you could contact our resolution specialist, which is Amy Warren, and she could kind of help you with that. There are also a lot of commissioners that are currently working on updating resolutions. I know I have 2. that we're trying to get going. It's kind of hard with the session starting. I feel like everything kind of went by the wayside.
Oh yeah, everything.
Mm-hmm. But we have two that we're trying to update. One's about homelessness and homelessness and transiency, because a third of our homeless population are families with children, or children without families even. And then the other one is partisan politics and redistricting, and it's just talking about making sure that we're protecting our voters' rights. So both of those, we're trying to get that information updated and just make sure that we're using the most up-to-date stuff. So if there's one of these on here and you're like, hey, I'd like to work on that, or I'm interested in a certain area, just contact your commissioner, or Amy will help direct you if you want to get going. It's kind of fun. It's kind of jumping down the rabbit hole when you start looking into things and you just find thing after thing after thing, and then you have to try and...
Definitely a rabbit hole. You gotta rein yourself in.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, even, was it last year that we had someone come to us, the school safety, or the safe, what is it? Safe walking routes. Safe walking routes. Thank you. I'm like, it's not walking zones. But I mean, that was brought to us by just a PTA member. It wasn't someone from the board. So you guys have an impact on what we're doing at the legislature, and we are there. We are there hopefully making a difference.
I think so.
The more memberships we have, the bigger our voices. So that's one more plug for members. Because if we can come and say, I don't even know what we're at membership-wise right now. I can tell you in just a second. 52,000 strong. We would love to get, our goal is 80,000. So if you haven't joined, please join. But we can go to the legislature and say, we represent 52,000 people, or 52,000 members, not just people. They're PTA members in the state of Utah. So.
And this month is January, and I like to say January-Manuary, so invite a man to join PTA.
Yeah.
We should have our males.
So if you're a woman and your husband is, or your spouse, or your partner, or your boyfriend, or whatever, is not a member of the PTA, they should be. So
it's really easy. Is you just put in their information.
I know, you just sign them up.
$5.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I'm like,
I do to sign up.
My husband's always a member.
My wife's a member. She doesn't PTA at all with me, but she's a member.
I even sign up my high school and junior high school age children. They have memberships. The other thing you can do, actually, we are our PTAs are supposed to try and encourage their elected officials to join PTA this month. That's kind of a push that they're making. So you could reach out to your elected official and say, hey, will you join our PTA? Or, and then I think it's 3 people.
3.
And this could be school board members, this can be city council, this could be pretty much anyone that's an elected official. You can encourage them to join your PTA, and if they do, if you get 3 of them, you are entered into a drawing for, I don't remember what the prize is. I want to say it's actually free registration too.
Yeah, it's like a buy one get one free
to our convention. So
like buy one get one free registration.
But just to be able to say, hey, and if they join your PTA, that also means that they're getting probably your newsletters and information, and so they're kind of up to date on what's going on in your PTA. So great way to kind of disperse information to them and hopefully help them to see what good things PTA is doing. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to text my representatives.
So if you live in West Jordan, I know that our mayor has said he will join your PTA if you email him and invite him. So
nice.
I would email Dirk Burton and say, hey, will you join our PTA? Send him the link, make it really easy for him, so all he has to do is click to get there and join your PTA. But I wouldn't be surprised if there are other mayors and other positions that will.
I'm gonna do it.
That will join. So doesn't hurt to reach out. That's for sure.
All right, it's time to dance.
Okay, let's do it.